So this is the new Fujifilm GFX Eterna 55. Essentially it's the same sensor and processor from the GFX 100 II, which is a hybrid stills and video camera. It has a 44mm wide by 33mm tall sensor, which is a 55mm diagonal, and that's where the camera gets its name from. So it's a larger than large format. In front of the sensor there is an OLPF to try to knock down some of that sharpness, reducing moire, making sure there's no false color. And then in front of that there's also an ND filter. So it's an adjustable electronic ND. It's either clear or activates to 2 stops, and then it can go from 2 stops to 7 stops at 0.05 stop increments. So that's 20 different increments in each stop. So you can use that, you can either set it on the side to 1.2 or 1.8, whatever you want, or you can use the wheels on the side of the camera to really fine tune if your light changes and you want to save the exposure. You don't need to touch the aperture ring anymore, you can just use these 2 rings here. In terms of recording, it has 2 options. You go internal as 422 HQ ProRes, or you can go external if you want a 12-bit, you can do ProRes RAW or Blackmagic RAW through the SDI as well as the HDMI. We think that the majority of people are going to want to use this internally, and what we've done is we've created a color gamut called F-Log2C, and that color gamut will almost cover, it's about 80% of the whole of ACES. It still has the full dynamic range as well, which is about 14 stops or a little bit more. So we think that most people will use that because of the quick workflow that you can get from that. If you're using the log mode, or you're using internal, should I say, you can choose between 2 kind of image pipelines. You can either choose one of the Fujifilm film simulation modes, which have been very, very popular in our X and GFX cameras, and that allows you to choose your favorite film emulsion, maybe tweak the curves a little bit, just adjust the image slightly, and then you'll actually be outputting a Rec 709 image. Or you can still use that for all of your previewing, but still actually record the flat log image. And then 10 of our Fujifilm film simulation modes will be available as 3D LUTs, so you can then bring them into your workflow to match what you were seeing on set. So for us, color is a very, very important thing. We've been making film for, since the 1930s is when our company was set up, and it was our first product. So all of the experience that we've had with color, with film emulsion over the years, we still even have people that worked with our motion picture product still within the company now, and we've tried to make sure as much of that expertise has gone into this camera as possible. And that's another reason why I think people will find the log file will be very, very much suitable for most of their uses. Just quickly going back to the sensor, the sensor, as I said, is 44 by 33. You can shoot in an open gate image, but you can also choose the size of your canvas. So you have the full open gate, or you can go full width, but cropped in at 17 by 9 or 16 by 9. Or you can come into like what we call a Premista mode, which is optimized for the image circle of our Premista lenses. There's a large format mode, which is like a regular 35mm film, and there's a Super 35 mode. Now those decisions have no bearing on the resolution. So in terms of image quality, you're not choosing the best, you're choosing the one that suits your lenses. And again, as I mentioned when I was talking about color, to us, the most important thing is creative freedom of choice for a filmmaker to really create exactly what they want. And the camera is a tool, it should not be getting in the way, so we tried to make it as versatile as possible in that way. So any lenses, any one of our many, many Fujifilm film emulsions, and you're ready to go. There's a screen on both sides. So on the operator side, you have full clear control of the settings, and you have exactly the same on the opposite side. You can choose to lock them off as well, so you've got control so they don't accidentally change anything on set. There's an internal battery here, which allows you to hot swap the battery. So if you can't do it while you're actually rolling, but if you need to change a battery, you can change the battery, add a new one, don't need to turn the camera off. You can actually remove the battery, and you can shoot for about 30 minutes just on the internal battery. Okay, now there are some limitations, like the SDI ports will be disabled and some of the power outputs will be disabled, but the most important things, the sensor, the processor, and very importantly the fans will all still work fine just on this battery. It has a very low power draw. It's about 21 watts is the lowest in just basic setup. Obviously, once you start adding extra things on, it can go up. So you're like 100 kilowatt hour battery is going to give you 4 hours of shooting. So yeah, the power draw is very low. In terms of media, It shoots with CF Express B and also SD, so you can have proxies going to the SD while your main footage goes to the CF Express B. And then, as I mentioned before, you've got you can shoot with RAW, but you have an SDI out, you have a full-size HDMI, there is wired timecode, wired Genlock, Ethernet, USB-C, which will be for sort of future development. Yeah, it's kind of ready for professional filmmaking, and yeah, we're hopefully that people are going to really enjoy it. One more thing, the final thing is the lens that we're also releasing at the same time. It's our first dedicated filmmaking lens for the GF system. So it's a 32-90, it's a T3.5 constant. It is all focus by zoom by iris by wire. So what that means is you can still control all of the aspects of the lens remotely using the dials on the camera, and eventually also remotely via just over the internet. You'll be able to control all of it. It will have autofocus as well. It should be very, very versatile, very easy to use for kind of one-man band run and gun shooting. And it's about just over 2 kilograms in weight, and the camera is roughly about the same as well. So the camera will ship from October or maybe November, definitely this year. The price is 13,450 euros ex VAT. What you get for that is you get the body, you get the top handle, you get the screen and the hood, and you get the arm. You also get our own dedicated PL mount. Our PL mount comes with data pass-through contacts as well, so /I and Zeiss extended data. And then the lens will be 4,500 euros ex VAT as well. We have an electronic viewfinder in the pipeline. So obviously the camera itself, we've teased a lot over the last year, and the most common feedback that we got was basically, are you making an EVF? So we plan to still bundle with the 5-inch LCD, but we have got a prototype, and it is very much a prototype EVF here at IABC, which we're showing people. Very much subject to change still, so don't think of this as final design. This is just really almost to prove to you guys that we definitely are developing it. This is currently based on the panel that's in the GFX 102 EVF, which is, I mean, I'm biased, but possibly the best EVF for a stills camera on the market. So we don't have a timeline, we don't have a price, but we definitely can confirm that it is definitely on its way.